I'm doing this in my car because this is kind of where it started. April 30th of this year, 2018, I got in the car with my kids to go for a little ride, and drove down my road and saw something that nobody ever thinks they're going to see, or expects to see, or hopes to see. And for some reason, you just want to tell people what you saw, because it's just unbelievable and weird and creepy. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. This first video is going to be me telling about my Bigfoot sighting. Came up this slight little hill, and right here, this curve right here. As soon as I came around, I was going about like this fast, and as soon as I came around the curve, I saw him there, like about right there, 40 to 50 yards out, walking into the woods that direction. He took about maybe 2.5 steps, and he slightly turned sideways as he walked into the woods. Whatever. As it stepped into the woods, it took about 2.5 steps, turning sideways to where his back was what I saw. I did not see a face. I saw the shape of its head, the large body. The grass was about growed up like it is now. So like I really couldn't see like the very bottom of his legs, and then I couldn't really see like the very top. It would have been like about right here-ish, where that tree is bowed over and the other tree is laying on top of the bowed over tree. So that's where I saw him. Came around that curve, and he took 2.5 steps going into the woods. And as he walked into the woods, he slightly turned sideways, like as if he was going in between two trees. So when I first saw it, I said out loud, I said, "What the heck was that?" And I pulled up to exactly where I saw him walking into the woods, and I stopped the car to look into the woods, but I only stopped for about 3 seconds, because it took about 3 seconds for me to like, okay, what are you doing? Don't stop, because you know what you just saw, and why are you stopping? Do not stop. Keep going. So I kept going, and I was shaking. I was terrified. I was scared. I got up here and texted a friend and said, I just saw Bigfoot on my road, and that was at 7:22 that I sent the text. So I know it had to have been like less than 2 minutes, because I sent the text. So I never thought I'd be telling people that I saw Bigfoot, but I did. I'm telling. And what's really odd is Well, no, that was the really odd part. Seeing Bigfoot was the really odd part. But there have been a lot of other odd, weird, unexplainable things happen since then and before then. Only before, like, I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know why I was hearing all these noises, why there were knocks on the windows. I'll get into that later. But the next day after I saw the creature, I left my house. I had an appointment of some sort, and I've been videoing ever since I saw it. Like, every time I leave my house and every time I drive back home, I turn on my the video on my phone and record, just driving like this down the road. But the very next day I left, I didn't see anything. Of course, I was just scared driving down the road. But then when I came back, I noticed what I thought was a white, it looked like a white handkerchief hanging from a tree branch right where I saw the creature, like in the exact spot. I just thought it was just too odd to be a coincidence. It was just the weirdest, oddest thing that it was right there. It ended up being a like a plastic bag that you would get from Walmart, but it wasn't Walmart because it didn't say Walmart. It was just a white plastic bag stuck in this tree. And I was too scared to get out and see what it was, how it was like just hanging from this tree. But my mom came up to visit, and I made her get out and see what was going on. And we found out, it was a white plastic bag, and it was not just, it was like looped around, like the handle was looped around the branch. Like, the odds of the wind just blowing it up there that way, I think are very slim. The bag was clearly put there on purpose, either by a person or something else. But it stayed there for, I'm gonna say, like 2 weeks. Like, the bag was there, and every time I drove past that spot, like, I slowed down, I stopped, I was videoing, and never saw anything except the bag. So I don't know if they put the bag there to make me stop and slow down, just so they, I don't know, like they're out in the woods laughing, like, she's stopping again. I don't know. I have no idea. But it was just the weirdest thing. And I stopped every time, just looking out in the woods, like, oh, what's that bag doing there? But anyways, I think they put the bag there, and now I think they just put it there probably just to get us to stop. And I guess they're curious about us. I don't know. I've been reading a lot of stuff about Bigfoot, which I didn't know a whole lot before. I was born in 1970, so I've seen the Patterson film. I'd always known about Bigfoot, but of course, just it was like, Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy, and not something I believed in and gave much thought about at all. Did not think about it, didn't believe in it. But wow, now I'm just like, what the heck is going on in the world? So saying? I forgot because I looked down this road, this like little driveway road that was creepy looking. So, I mean, I watched the Patterson film when I was a kid. I don't know, didn't think much about it. I'm sure I probably asked my dad, hey, what is that? Is that real? And, you know, probably got the standard answer like, oh, it's just, you know, it's not real, don't worry about it. So it's like I never believed in Bigfoot, never thought about Bigfoot, never cared about Bigfoot. How? I'm like, where's he at? He's out there. I want to see him again because like once you see him, and I only saw him for like a split second, like 2 seconds, 1, 2, like 2.5 steps. So it was probably like 1.5 seconds. But like once you see it, you want to see it again. You know, one, just to see it because it's so insane. Like, it really was just the craziest thing I've ever seen. But also to, you know, for confirmation, to like confirm, okay, yeah, I really did see you. But it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I know what I saw. Nobody's gonna tell me anything different. I don't care how crazy I sound. Obviously, I'm making a freaking video about Bigfoot, so obviously I don't care what anybody thinks. And the reason I don't care is because I know what I saw. And you can't convince me otherwise at this point. It's like, prove to me that I didn't see what I saw, because even though it was just like he took 1, 2.5 steps into the woods, it was not an animal. And you know how most animals, they dart back into the woods, like as soon as the car startles them, you know, they dart fast. It's like, whew, they're gone. This thing just casually walked back into the woods, like very casually, just stepped into the woods like it didn't have a care in the world, wasn't even concerned that there's a car coming. It just was very casual about walking, not in a hurry, not slow, but just not in a hurry. It was just like step, shimmy to the side. And so yeah, that's what I saw. And I've been looking for him ever since. Will continue to look as long as I can. And like I'm not, if I see it again, like I'm gonna be terrified, because initially when I saw it, I was terrified for, I would say, a good month. Like literally freaked out and scared. A good month. My mom came to visit like about a month or a little after I had seen it, so I felt better after she got to my house and came for a visit, which while she was there, she heard some knocking on the windows as well. And well, that will be the second video that I make about the knocking, because that's like a whole nother a whole nother video, a whole nother story. I just wanted to. This is my account of my sighting of Bigfoot that I saw on April 30th, 2018. Quite interesting and crazy.